Okay, so again, in order for us to continue our fourth quarter, we are going to create a new database that we are going to use at the end of the fourth quarter. So, for the first step in creating a new database, of course, we are going to click blank desktop database. After clicking blank desktop database, if you want to change the path or location where you want to save your database, you may click this small folder. And of course, I'm going to save my new database to my removable disk or my flash drive, and the files, instructional materials, and database system. And the name of our new database will be other operator, as said into our module. Let's check. Okay, other operators. Dash your last name, comma, your first name as a sign of ownership to the database system. There's supposed to be a reminder. If you're going to create your own database system, you don't need to put your last name and your first name on your first name. Kaya ko lang pinapalagay yung last name and yung first name ninyo in order for me to know if you truly own that database system at hindi nyo lang po basta finorward sa akin through Messenger. Then, click OK. Then after clicking OK, then that will be the name of our database or new database. Then click Create. Okay, and of course, automatic we will be having our default table, which is named as table 1. Of course, this database system, we need to create a new database table, and we are going to save it as a student. And here is our field names that we are going to create for this database system. So we have the student ID, last name, first name, middle initial, section, gender, and grade level. So click on the design view. Then the name of our table will be students. Then click OK. Then we have our first field name will be student ID. Second is last name, first name, middle initial, grade level, wait, let's check para iwas pagkakamali. Ay no, section, gender, then grade level muna. Section, gender, then grade level. Section, gender, and grade level. Then the data type for the first name or for the last name up to the grade level should be short text. Then the data type of our student ID will be auto number. So once we assign the student ID as auto number, automatic the Microsoft Office Access will give its own record. Okay, so you don't need to type anything on the student ID anymore kasi si MS Access ang may bibigay ng ID para sa ating records. So if you're done, press Ctrl S to save the table, then click the datasheet view to encode or to enter the new, to enter the new records that we are going to put into our new database system and into our new database table. So here are the different records that we need to put. So for me, maglalagay na lang po ako siguro ng dalawa, at least 2 example, para mabilis po tayo sa ating lesson and demonstration. So for the first record, we have Robin C. De La Cruz, male and grade level. So De La Cruz, Robin C, and section ni De La Cruz will be, oops, hindi nakalagay ang section, so lagay na lang natin section 1. Gender will be male, then grade 1. So it's up to you na lang po kung ano ang magiging section ng inyong mga records, kasi walang nailagay sa ating record o hindi nailagay sa screenshots ng ating record. And we have the second record will be Mariel A. Rodriguez. So we have Rodriguez, Mariel A. Section 1. And of course, she is female. Magkaklase sila ni Robin de la Cruz. Okay, grade 1. So, let's say for example, na-enter na natin lahat ng mga records sa ating database table or sa ating bagong database table. So, let's proceed now into our new lesson wherein we're going to implement the AND operator into our database system. So, into our database system. So, first one, on the first step, we're going to enter or to open a new or our new query design view. So this will be supposed to be discussed on our third quarter, but since hindi po siya na-discuss, then I'm going to introduce to you on the query design view. So in order for you to proceed into our query design view, as always, we're going to click create menu. After clicking create menu, then beside of the query wizard will be the query design view. So this will be the first time that you're going to use your query design view. So in our query design view, once we click the query design view or the QDV, it will show you the different parts of the QDV, which is the show table dialog box, wherein it contains all the different tables that is available into our database system that we can use into our query design view. Then of course, once na maglalagay na tayo or once we select the table that we need for our query, then all you have to do is to click the table or the query, then click add, or just double click it, then it will automatically add into our query design view. Then once you're done, then just click close. Pero let's say for example, marami tayong table na nagawa na and isa lang po yung nailagay kong table at kailangan ko pala yung mga iba. So how are we going to open our show table dialog box again in order for us to add a new table into our query design view? So here is this step. So all you have to do is this is what we call pala the upper pane and the lower pane. Just hover your mouse to the upper pane of the query design view, then right click. After you right click it, you will see here the show table context menu. So once you click the show table context menu, then it will show now the show table, or it will appear now the show table dialog box. So you can now add a new table into our query design view. Okay, so this is our upper pane and this is our lower pane. The upper pane will contain the different tables or queries that we can use into our operator or into our query, while the lower pane will contain our codes or commands and criteria that or behavior that will do by our query. Okay, so we have here the fields, the table kung saan manggagaling yung fields. So, yung fields naman kung ano yung mga involved na fields sa ating query design, while the table kung saan manggagaling yung field, and the sort kung paano yung sorting ng ating record sa specific fields, and the criteria, dito natin ilalagay yung criteria or yung behavior ng ating query. Okay, so for the AND operator, we're going to proceed or we're going to do the same just like on the image shown into your module. So first step is we are going to add the involved field names for our query. So we're going to add all of the field names. So here is how are you going to add the different field names. Reminder, we have many methods. For the first method, just click on the field names or just double click on the field names on the table, then it will automatically add into our lower pane. For the second method, you can do also this one. Just click on the drop down button, then it will show the available field names that is included into our table. So just click on our second field names, or you can just do this one, the third field names, click and drag to the lower pane. Okay, pero para sa akin, parang mas madali ang double click. So we are going to put all of the field names since they are all involved into our query behavior or query design view. So next, we are going to implement this criteria. So this is what we call now our criteria, and this is what we call the criteria. So this is now what we call the AND operator criteria. So this procedure is what we call the AND operator criteria. Okay? So yung ibig sabihin nito, we are going to show all of the information who is male, grade 7 student. Pag sinabi nating AND, so dapat grade 7 and male student. So pag ang record natin is puro sila female, pero puro sila grade 7. So tama yung grade 7, dapat ipapakita niya lahat ng grade 7. Pero yung record natin, wala tayong lalaki. Ipapakita pa rin ba niya yung mga grade 7 students natin if we are using the AND operator? Of course, hindi na po. Kasi, magsi-zero record po yun kasi ang hinahanap po ng ating query is lahat ng grade 7 na lalaking estudyante. Okay? Lahat ng grade 7 na lalaking estudyante. Kung ang record natin ay lahat ng grade 7 or kung ang record natin ay puro grade 7, kaya lang hindi sila lalaki, which is babae silang lahat, then wala siyang ipapakitang record. Okay, so that is how the AND operator works. So we have here now our gender. So dito tayo sa criteria ng ating gender. So sabi kanina, ang ipapakita lang natin is grade 7 na lalaki. So anong hinahanap ulit natin? So it always start with equal sign, then followed by the double quotation mark. Reminder, if you are using your computer, the proper way on typing the double quotation mark is by pressing and holding. While pressing the shift key, then press the double quotation mark. It is usually beside the enter. Okay, press and hold the shift key, then press the double quotation mark, then type in your criteria, which is male student, then another double quotation mark. Reminder that there is a big difference between two single quotation mark in our computer and double quotation mark. Okay, kapag ginawa nyo itong dalawang single quotation mark, hindi po gagana yung ating query. It's supposed to be double quotation mark. So how are you going to do the double quotation mark again? Press and hold the shift key, then press the double quotation mark, which is usually beside the enter into your computer keyboard. Then on to our grade level, we are looking for all grade 7. Kaya lang since wala tayong grade 7 na itinype kanina sa ating record, we're going to look for grade 1. So equal sign, then double quotation mark, then grade 1. Okay, then double quotation mark again. So if you're done, press Ctrl S to save the query, then put a name of our query. Since this query will look for all male students, which is grade 1, then we are going to put the name of our student or of our query as grade 1 male student query. Okay, then click OK. After clicking OK, so na-save na yung ating query. Pero ganito pa rin siya, nandito pa rin tayo sa design view. Reminder, this design view or the purpose of the design view is for the creation of our query, while we have different view for our query, which is the datasheet view and of course the SQL view. So if you want to see the result of the behavior that you set into your query, then you may click on the datasheet view. So if you're going to click the datasheet view, then it will show the result of your criteria. So, yung criteria natin kanina is ilalabas natin or ipapakita natin yung records natin lahat ng mga lalaki na grade 1. So, dapat walang magpapakitang mga babae na grade 1. So, our records will be all male students who is grade 1. So, yun yung epekto ng ating query. So, let's say for example, maglagay tayo ng grade 2 or grade 1 din pero gawin nating male ulit. So, tignan nga natin kung makikita pa rin niya. So, let's say for example, my name. Section 1. Kakaklase kami. Then, grade 1. Press Ctrl S to your table. Then, as I told you into our previous discussion video, we need to close the query to refresh the query para makita niya yung ating records or your newly entered records. So, if I'm going to look all male students who is grade 1, what I'm going to do is to open or double click onto this query, grade 1 male students. It means student query. It means it will show all the information that is stored into our database system who is male grade 1 students. So, double click this query, then it will show all male grade 1 students. So, yun yung epekto ng AND operator. Kaya lang, question, paano kung gusto kong baguhin yung aking behavior o yung behavior ng aking query? So, paano pumunta sa design view? So, meron tayo ditong view sa ating home menu, view. All you have to do is to click the view, then click the design view. Kaya nga tinawag na design view kasi dito tayo gagawa or magde-design ng ating query. So, click the design view, then it will show again the design view of our query. So, pwede nyo na ulit palitan yung inyong criteria. So, kung papansinin ninyo nawala yung equal sign, na reminder, kahit nawala yung equal sign, once na pinalitan nyo yan, ang first step in creating a criteria is type first the equal sign, then followed by your criteria. Okay? And this criteria is what we call now the constant criteria. Bakit constant criteria? Because this is unchangeable criteria. So, lahat ng criteria natin or expression natin na enclosed with double quotation mark is what we call a constant criteria or constant query. Kasi hindi po siya pwedeng baguhin. So, kung ang hinahanap natin ay male, dapat male lang ang ipapakita niya. Okay? So, kaya siya tinawag na constant query. So, let's say for example naman, hanapin natin is female. So, palitan natin equal sign, double quotation mark, female, then double quotation mark. Female grade 1 students. Example lang. Tapos, ayan. Ang nahanap niya lang is, nakita niyo yung ginawa ko? So, just click on the datasheet view, then magpapakita yung result ng ating query. So, ang nahanap niya lang is yung babae, which is si Mariel Rodriguez, who is a grade 1 student of this school. So, that is how are you going to do, or that is how the procedure that you are going to follow in order for you to create our LAS for the week 1 of 4th quarter.